Hello everybody, Wild Bill from America here, and tonight I will be joining Samuel Tolley on his show, Trusting the Truth. And tonight, we stand with ICE. The battle we're seeing in Minneapolis is 100% a battle between good and evil. Law and order versus chaos and violence. Samuel and I are both members of the Mordecai Mission. We are Christians who, in the tradition of the Black Robe Regiment, believe that our Christian faith should shape everything about our lives, including how we engage with the popular culture. God himself commands that everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Those people who are supportive of ICE and other law enforcement tend to be men and women who are faithful to their Judeo-Christian faith, while those who are violently and viciously coming against those officers are overwhelmingly left-wing militants who reject God and his moral law. How do liberals become liberals? Well, the Bible in John chapter 3 gives us a clue. It says, "This is the verdict. Light has come into the world, but people loved darkness instead of the light because their deeds were evil. For everyone practicing evil hates the light and does not come to the light, lest his deeds should be exposed. But he who does the truth comes to the light, that his deeds may be clearly seen, that they have been done in God." Now the light in those verses is the Lord Jesus Christ himself. And that is the major difference between the right and the left. It is the people of God's light standing for law and order in obedience to God against the enemies of God's light who are fighting to tear down law and order. Every person in this world makes decisions every day. Those who follow their God-given conscience do right, and that moves them closer to God and his salvation and his truth. People who ignore their conscience choose to do wrong. And every time they choose sin over righteousness, they move further and further away from the light of God. That is how liberalism comes to be. And the longer it goes on, the worse it gets. Liberalism is like cancer. And sadly, liberalism is the ideology that totally dominates the Democrat Party. Think about it. The Democrat Party is on the wrong side of every moral issue, every time. Their habitual rejection of God has plunged the left into spiritual darkness. And because they are lost in darkness, they believe they can kill children in their mother's womb. They embrace and celebrate every form of sexual sin, no matter how disgusting and no matter who it hurts. The people living in spiritual darkness engage in mob violence whenever their satanic masters order them to. And that is what we are seeing in Minneapolis, and it's spreading to other states and cities. The Battle of Minneapolis is ultimately a spiritual battle that is coming out of the shadows and into our lives. There's only one power that can push back spiritual darkness, and that is the message of the cross. Christians speaking bold truth right into the faces of the enemy. No fear, no retreat.